Hello everyone, this is ICBs here and today we are going to be talking about Loki Season 2 Episode 3. There is quite a bit to unpack in this episode. We finally get to see Renslayer where she went after the finale of the last season. We get to see the origins of Kang the Conqueror. We get to see that he has 1.5 lady get horny for he who must get laid. And finally there will be time for theories. But first things first, let's talk about the plot very briefly and then it's going to be review and theorizing time, so be sure to watch till the end. And now let's talk about the plot. This episode finally gives us some insight where Renslayer went. She went to Chicago on the last wishes of He Who Remains with Miss Minutes. Miss Minutes tells her to leave the TVA guidebook through a window. The window is of a young Kang the Conqueror. Obi is still speaking some same gibberish about him needing to access the TVA computer or some bullshit like that, cause otherwise the big machine will go boom. That's all you need to know. Loki and Mobius go to Chicago in 1868 and then decide to go there in 1893. There's a festival there. They find Renslayer at a demonstration of a temporal loom by Victor Timely. Victor Timely is another one of Kang's variant. The TVA guidebook given to the young Kang the Conqueror set him on the path of discovery. Turns out that Victor Timely cons people into investing in his inventions. It's kind of weird because he's smart, so why not just make good inventions so that he can have people investing in him? Like, why does he need to con people? One reason could be that he doesn't like partnership, and this is something that we will definitely discuss more later on. A man who invested his money for Victor Timely figures out that invention was a con and chases him. Loki, Mobius and Renslayer all chase amidst the chaos to get to Victor. Soon Sylvie also joins them, but her motive is to kill Victor. Loki tries to explain the situation to Sylvie, that they need this variant of Kang to go back to the TVA so he can fix the temporal loom. But Sylvie still wants to kill him because she's just dumb like that. Renslayer and Miss Minutes are able to secure Victor in a safe place. There they explain to him that he made the TVA organization. There was some weird element of romance between Victor and Renslayer. Well, from there they go to a ship. There at the ship, Renslayer and Victor start talking and flirting a little bit more, and Victor seems to be put off when Renslayer says that I have high hopes for this partnership. While all this happens, Miss Minutes seems angry and jealous in the background. It was kind of a surprise element to see that Miss Minutes could also be in love with Kang. When Victor was put off by Renslayer mentioning the word partnership, she smiles. For some reason Kang hates partnerships. Maybe Miss Minutes knows why, because she immediately smiles when Renslayer mentions partnership. When Renslayer is sleeping, Victor throws her overboard on a boat. When they reach Victor's lab in Wisconsin, Miss Minutes starts to explain her side of things, saying that she was simply an AI that Victor made to play chess with, but then he made her more and more advanced and allowed her the ability to make her own programs and have her own wants and needs. Essentially, Kang gave Miss Minutes the freedom of choice. Miss Minutes tells him that if Kang had made a real body for her, she and him could be together. Victor is obviously weirded out by the floating clock confessing her feelings, so he is able to trap her. Immediately after that, Renslayer, Loki and Mobius also show up. They all argue until Sylvie comes and throws everyone away with her green fart magic. She's about to kill Victor until Victor begs her not to kill him. He says that he's different, that he never committed any crimes Sylvie is accusing him of, that he has a free will and free choices. Sylvie lets him go. Loki and Mobius leave with Victor while Sylvie is left to take care of Renslayer. Sylvie tells her that if she seeks power and wants a seat at the end of the time, then she should be careful of her wishes. After saying that, she throws Renslayer in the same room at the end of the time where Sylvie had killed He Who Remains at the finale of the first season. There Miss Minutes becomes angry at Kang and says that he shouldn't have made an enemy of someone who knows all his secrets. And then she says that she knows his biggest secret about Renslayer, and that secret is going to make Renslayer really angry. That's where this episode ends. That was a lot to unpack. First things first, if I have to criticize something, it would be Jonathan Major's performance, or precisely his second disappointing performance as Kang the Conqueror. You might have liked him in the first season of Loki, but god, I was so bamboozled when I saw him at the end of Loki season 1. I just wasn't a big fan of his performance. I did like him somewhat better in Antman 3. Now I can forgive his performance this time because this is Kang before he becomes Kang the Conqueror. So this is just a new leaf ready to become the big badass in the future. Now let's talk about Kang and his origins. I don't think that this is the original Kang, but the thing to notice that is that Victor Timely exists in the sacred timeline, which means that the Kang we saw in the last season was a variant from a different timeline. Now it is time for me to say something outrageous, and it's my theory and it's okay if I'm wrong, it's just fun to theorize. But I don't think that the Kang in season 1 was actually a really bad guy. I mean, he was definitely getting rid of all the other universes that could exist, which means when you think about it is that he's killing off essentially trillions of lives probably per second, but that is the only way he can stop his other variants from existing. And as explained by him, his variants were far more ruthless and merciless than him, so that is how he's keeping the universe intact by denying the multiverse to exist. But as we know that Sylvie is a variant that has been escaping her whole life from the TVA because she should not exist according to the TVA and Kang's policies, which obviously puts her at odds with Kang, and that's why she killed him. So technically this Dumbo started the multiverse saga because she needed revenge. Okay, with all of that said, how does this all relate to this episode, I hear you asking as your ears are bleeding? Well, the answer is simple. If Kang at the end of season 1 was good and opposed the rest of the ruthless Kangs, it could mean that Kang's last wishes for the TVA hand guidebook to be delivered to Victor Timely means that he believes that Victor Timely can be a force that can oppose the legions of Kangs that would come out as a result of his death. So the short of my theory is that Victor Timely could be a good character who will help our heroes beat his variants. You could see some good in him when he tries to tell Sylvie that his heart is different, that his choices are different, and that he has a free will, something Sylvie wants for everyone. So seeing her enemy talk about the same thing, Sylvie lets him live. So in my theory, Victor Timely is good. Or well, he could probably be lying cause he's a con man, but I like my theory better. But we'll see in the future what happens. Another thing to mention is Miss Minutes talking about Kang's secret that she knows about Renslayer. It could be the obvious things such as Renslayer having a family that Kang murdered and then wiped her memory and forced her to serve at the TVA, or it could be something different. In my theory, it could be something related to Kang not liking partnerships. So maybe at some point Kang and Renslayer ruled together, but it didn't work out, so Kang wiped her memory and demoted her. I'm not sure why Kang doesn't like partnerships. The obvious theory could be that it is his innate nature. He loves being a conqueror, so there can only be place for one person at the top, not two. Another theory that I have for this series is, well, I want to answer the question, why did Kang allow himself to be killed at the end of season 1? I definitely think he could have easily protected himself, yet he allowed himself to die. Well, in my theory it goes back to his nature of being a conqueror. The Kang we see at the end of season 1 of Loki is someone who has conquered everything. There is nothing left for him to conquer. There's nothing left for him to do anymore. So what does someone do when they finish playing a video game? Well, usually we do a replay of our game. I think this is exactly what Kang's doing. He probably wants some challenge in his life, something to conquer. After all, what is a conqueror when there is nothing left to conquer? Well, I hope this video wasn't too long. If you liked it, then be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know your theories in the comments down below, and as always, it's time for a goodbye.